Hello everyone, welcome back. So, I just wanted to give a few updates. I know I've been doing a lot of updates here lately, and so the weather is crazy, so we're not getting out right now to do much. Going to work and then home is pretty much all we are really able to do right now. Um, so, our area is getting a ton of rain and we've been getting rain for many days now, and we're expected to get it for several more still. So, if you are experiencing a lot of the rain like we are, please be very careful. Check your roads before you get out. Um, Ask questions on social media or whatever about people who have been around that might know how the roads are before you get out and try it. And just remember that if you see water on the road, be very careful with that because you can hydroplane. The road could be deeper than it appears to be. The road could be washed out and you not even know it. All kinds of things. So I have actually seen where roads have washed completely out and people didn't even know it, and then they hit the road, and I mean, you can drown from that. Hopefully you do get out of the vehicle, but whenever they're able to actually drain that water down, the road is gone. So in the area that you really just think may be an inch deep or so. So just be very careful with that. Along with the rain, it is causing the roots of trees to be really to where there's nothing holding them there anymore. And so trees are falling, and you've got that issue also. So your road may be clear, but just be sure to drive carefully because you could be going around a curve and there actually be a tree down that you didn't know, or something like that. So just be aware of it. We have so much flooding. We actually have boats trying to get people out and things like that because the rain has come down so hard, so fast that their homes are flooding. I have a friend that went to visit her mom. They got 14 inches of rain almost instantly. It just went so fast that their home is actually above ground, and there's no basement or anything like that. And luckily, but it's still flooded. They have water all on their floor. They're trying to get it all out of the home. Everything in their home is ruined. So, just be aware that just because it's raining and you're at home, don't think that it can't flood unless you absolutely know you're above flood levels no matter what, because no one was expecting 14 inches of rain. No one was expecting 12 inches of rain. I mean, you see it and you still don't really expect it to happen. So anyway, just be aware of that. And so this isn't just about weather today. So one of the other things I want to talk about, but I did want to get that out there because I don't want anyone to get hurt or die because of weather. So just be aware of your surroundings and be aware of the weather. So, but one of the things I did want to talk about is the 5D diamond. So when we talked about the 5D diamond paintings the first time, we did get two, and I showed that we got two, but I never actually showed the images, I don't think. So the first one, I actually showed it while we were working on it, and then the completed picture as well. And it was of Hedwig with the magic book, the wand, the glasses, and the castle in the background. The other one is of the Harry Potter case for the movie. And so I didn't actually show it as we were working on it. Do know it takes a while to do these. If you can get one and do it in a day, I would like to know how you did it because it takes a while to do them. I mean, I guess if you just sat down and worked until you completed it, you could get it done, but we don't have that option. And so it takes, two of us about a week to do them. But of course, we work and we, have things to do, so we can't just sit down and do it, until we're done. So, so we started working on the second one, and we have completed it. So I wanted to show it to you. I also wanted to show it to you in the frame. So I just went ahead and, so when you're doing the 5D diamonds, it has a trim that's about an inch on all four sides of it, and that trim actually has some of the glue that is on it, on that trim part. So when we get through with it, we trim that off, and the reason we do that is because not only does it have the color chart on there for what you use, that's where your instructions are to know what color goes where, and so that is on there, and so we cut that part off, along with there are some instructions on that part too, so we cut that off as well, and when we frame it that way it looks better. You could leave that if you use a big enough frame with a mat that you can cut that mat precisely to fit right over the stones, and that would be perfect, because then you could use that little bit of glue to glue the mat to the front of the image, and it would be behind the mat. So if you can do that, and you know you have talent and time, you know, that would be a great idea to do. So but we didn't. We actually went with the frame that's just barely bigger than the 5D that we got. I know they come in different sizes, but the one we got a frame that's just barely bigger, and I showed it in one of the other videos, I think it was a couple back, of the frame that we used. We just used one of the cheaper pop-in type glass frames, and it just barely has a trim around it, because I wasn't really trying to show off the frame in this. I was mainly just trying to make sure it was frameable to where the stones don't come off, it doesn't get dust in it or anything else, because it is still sticky around each one of the stones. And if you have pets or anything, just be careful with that, because you will end up with pet hair in there, and it's kind of hard to get out. And so when you get through with it, you're then constantly having to remove those hairs before you frame it. So just know that, and if you put it on a wall without a frame, then you're liable to have that just get in there, you know, as time goes by, because it's going to stay sticky for a while. Also, the frame will help those stones. If those stones are a little bit loose or they start to get loose, framing it behind glass will actually help hold those stones in place. So I do recommend framing it. So anyway, I wanted to go ahead and show you the second one that we did. And just note, this one is actually in the frame, and the camera is moving a little bit because the dogs are inside due to all the rain, and for some reason they won't stay away from the tripod. So I don't know why. I guess it's just because it's new to them and they're not used to seeing it. So when you see me moving towards the camera, it's because I'm trying to shoo them away from it. So anyway, this is the 5D. That is the second one that we did. I'm trying to get it to where it's not showing so much of the reflection, but because it's glass, it's just showing that reflection in it. So I'm going to try to back it out here to where you can see it a little better. So just know that the 5D looks blurry when it's up close, but when it's hanging up, you're not going to have that blur. It's actually going to look really good, because the further away it is, the better it just appears. It appears to be sharper of an image. But this is it, and this is the frame that we use. This is the one that I showed. I believe it is an 11x14, and it came with an 8x10 mat inside it, and it was $3 and maybe 96 cents or 94 cents or something at our local Walmart. And so these are the ones that we got, and we like them. The glass pops into the front. You don't. He's got a squeaky toy again. I had to take that away from him again. Sorry about that. Hopefully we will get to where it's not raining all the time, and when I am doing the home vlogs, it won't be so bad. But for now, we're just having to deal with it. But anyway, the frame I was showing, this is it, and this is, like I said, it was $3 or something for the frame. I want to say we ended up paying, I think it was like $13 for 2 of the 5D paintings, and then the frames were $3.90 something a piece, so $4 a piece basically for those. And so these ended up being a fairly inexpensive project that we did, and so we really like them. I highly recommend it, especially if you like doing things like puzzles or cross stitch or paint by number or anything like that. This is something great to do. And the thing about it is, even kids can do these. So if they want to do one, they can do it as well. Just make sure that you walk them through how to do it, because they can't put their arm on the glue. They can't let any fabric onto the glue. They need to sit at a table to where nothing can get on the glue part. And I highly recommend, as you move the plastic to work with it, that you start at the bottom, move the plastic up to where it just uncovers that very first line. Do the first line, move up to the second line, do it, and then keep going. And then as you get used to it, you can move more than just that and do those sections, but you really need to get used to doing them and not putting your arm down to rest or letting your hand touch the glue or anything else. You have to be able to hold that hand up while you're using the pencil or the picker to pick the stones up and put them on top of it to where it doesn't ruin it. So I would say if your glue is not sticky, that you could use like an Elmer's glue or something like that to put on the little dots. But you know, if you do it right and you're real careful with it, you won't need that. So you won't even need to do that extra step. So, you know, just be careful with it. But if you do and you think it's ruined, don't throw it away to start over. Definitely use like the little white Elmer's glue that turns clear once it's dry, and put your little dot on it to put your stone on there. So, you know, you could definitely still do it. But anyway, I just wanted to give you an update on this and let you know. And one more update that I wanted to give you was, in the last video, I talked about going to Google and looking for flights. So one thing that I did with Google for the trip to Pennsylvania, because the flights are so expensive there, I still can't figure out why they're so expensive to go there, and why we were basically able to get 3 flights for our other destination trip for basically the same price as 1 flight to Pennsylvania. It just blows my mind. But anyway, so one thing that I do, and I just started it and just realized that I could do it, even though I've been looking at flights for a month. You can go to Google and put in flights, and when it comes up, you put in where you're departing from, where you're going to, and the dates that you're traveling, and it'll bring it up. And then just between where it has departing from and the first flight, you will see a little toggle right there that says, basically it just says keep you notified, or flights information or something like that. And you can toggle that on, and they will send you an email when the prices change on those flights. And I've been working with this a month and never really noticed that. I think I noticed it but didn't really think about it because I just have been going in there every day to look. So the flight has been running over 500. It was 508 yesterday. And this morning when I got up, I had an email from Google Flights, and it actually said that the flights were down like $30 a flight. And so, you know, I instantly went on there to look, and sure enough, it was. They had dropped $30 per person overnight. And so if you are looking for a flight and you're wanting to try to get a good deal on it, hit that toggle and let them alert you whenever those flights are coming up cheaper, because I did, and I was really surprised. They also have a graph that you can look at on there. It is between the where you are going to, or destination, and the first flight. There is a graph there that you can click, a price graph, and it will show you the prices from what they have been to kind of what they expect. And even though yesterday I looked at it and it only showed me like what they had been up to yesterday's price, it didn't show me any future activities. But basically, it was showing that they started off a little over 30 days ago being in the 300s, and then now, or yes, as of yesterday, they were over 500. So you can definitely look at that and kind of, get an idea as to where they've been and what they, so you can see kind of what the price will kind of go down to most likely. And you can also see like what dates it hit that. So on Monday, the prices may be a little bit higher than say Tuesday. Or, maybe the prices go down on Monday and of course, they shoot back up on say Friday. But definitely something that you might want to look into. You can kind of get an idea, because I noticed that they did seem to be a little cheaper towards the beginning of the week than they are towards the end of the week. And so I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that and see. But I did not realize that the flight had not been down below 350 yet. And so that really seemed crazy, because I was thinking that those flights would probably go down to around $200 per person, and it doesn't look like it even will. So if you're looking for a flight idea on the price, that's definitely a good place to go to check it out, because you can see kind of what the bottom price is ever going to be or has ever been, just to get an idea. So, and also where you, sorry, they're playing with the tripod again, but also note that where you leave from or where you depart from makes a difference, because our local airport is actually higher than one that is a little, about an hour further from me. So if you're willing to drive to another airport, you could get that flight even cheaper. Because I have anxiety with driving, I am not willing to drive further, just due to the fact that I don't want my anxiety to be any worse than what it already is. So I will not be willing to do that. I will pay the extra money before I will drive further, just due to the fact that, for peace of mind of knowing that it's closer and that I have people on both sides of me should something happen. They could come get me from either area to where, the other one, I have no one really on the other side, and anyone coming from where I live would have to drive that 2.5 hours basically to get us back to where we need to be, so or to get us to the airport. So anyway, just a little tidbit of information if you're getting ready to book a trip. So with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful day.